Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. This is your coach, transformational coach, life coach, speaker, and retreat leader, Sister Nayera Muhammad. I am super excited for you all today as I am once again bringing you another podcast hosted by the Repair of the Black Family, Heal on Purpose. We are here tonight to help to continue to enlighten our audience on how to eradicate generational trauma, drama, limiting beliefs, and self sabotaging behavior patterns. As you all come in tonight, if this is your very first time being with us tonight, we are going to ask if you are listening in on Facebook that you go ahead and share this live. If you are listening in via YouTube, we are going to ask that you go ahead and like the YouTube channel and make sure you share it with someone. And if you are listening live via podcast streaming, we're also asked that you follow the podcast and leave us a review. I am super excited tonight because we are bringing something very near and dear to my heart right here for my community in the city of St. Petersburg, Florida. We are bringing a health fair and expo, a community health fair and expo. And I'm excited simply because I'm bringing on some very powerful presenters that's going to be in the room with us on April 18th. Now, you may say, okay, well, that's in St. Petersburg, Florida. Absolutely. However, I believe tonight what is going to be shared by each one of our presenters that was able to make it on the call on the podcast tonight will share something that you can actually take away for your family, your community to be inspired to make a difference. We're bringing a holistic approach to our community, something that I believe is very necessary in this time. Now, as I think about why a community health fair and expo, why is it necessary that we should bring something like this in this dispensation of time? Well, for me, this is my own personal story before I bring the other beautiful presenters on. I have a family where, in our family, it runs, watch this, it runs in the family, diabetes. It runs in the family, high blood pressure. It runs in the family, mental health, depression, and all of these different things. It's been running in the family for a very long time. And so as a result of, me deciding to take the mantle in my family, it made some changes, generational changes. I wanted to do something that I believe that we could stop the running in the family, and that's to keep making people aware of different alternative methods that they can do to be able to have longevity. Okay, longevity. So tonight I'm super excited because I have some very beautiful presenters. So I'm going to bring them on the stage, y'all. Get ready. Get ready, get ready. I'm going to bring them on the stage and we're going to introduce every person tonight. And they're going to tell you their story. How did they get on their journey of healing and being able to serve people, and why they feel that it's necessary for something like this to take place in our community, and quite frankly, every community across the globe. However, we're focusing in on the Tampa Bay community tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and bring them on. You all, again, share this. Make sure that we get some people in the room. All right, as I get these people on, I feel like I am missing one person here. Yeah, hold on one second. Give me a second. Okay, I'm missing a person here. Okay, this is my first time hosting so many people at one time. All right, what is happening here? Okay, so what we're gonna do, because I see I can only bring so many people on at one time. I don't know what happened with that. I'm supposed to bring on 10, but we're not gonna worry about it because I know how to adjust. That's all in being in leadership. You got to know how to adjust when things get hard and things get tough. You don't back down, you push forward. So we're gonna push forward. And so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna interview the ones that's on the screen right now, and then we'll alternate. Can y'all rock with me on that? Can y'all vibe with me on that? Okay, because this was a surprise. However, I know how to adjust. That's all in leadership. So With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, if you are on here tonight, I'm going to ask that you go ahead and share this, share the podcast with someone. And I'm going to start right here with my beautiful sister, Kiana. I'm going to start with you, okay? Because you're going to help kick off our program on April 18th in the Child's Park community from 1 to 5 p.m. Sister Kiana, I have watched you for many, many years, and everybody say our daughters look just alike, right?
They do. They do. They have
And I,
been for a long time. They used to
yes,
think they were sisters.
yes, absolutely. And so one of the things that I know about you, Sister Kiana, is this is just my personal experience, that I know that you love the people. And I know that you are a shape shifter, right? You shape mindsets, you shift mindsets, and you really bring and add value. You're an asset to our community. So that's
Thank
my
you.
explanation of you. You are so beautiful. And anytime I see you, have a beautiful smile. Okay. But I would like for you to tonight to come on, tell the people who you are, how you show up for our community, and what you do in your business life, and how do you see yourself impacting the community health fair and expo.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You got me over here blushing, first of all. And I appreciate all the kind words. But I'm Kiana Horsley, and born and raised here in St. Petersburg, Florida. I wear a lot of hats. I'm one third of the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. So if y'all tune in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm the voice behind the keyboard. Sometimes y'all see my face, but I'm the female on there. I'm a momager. My daughter is a singer, so I have an entertainment company, and then I'm an advocate for the community. And so, if you listen to any of my platforms, I really go hard on what's right and making sure that we are knowledgeable about what's going on. Now, my passion is definitely mental health and your mindset, because if you have a negative mindset, it holds you back. And a lot of times we approach life and only see the bad things that happen and forget all the beautiful things that happen throughout the day. And so my mission is to let people, to remind people to sit down and smell the roses and look at everything that happened bad. Something good came from it, even if you didn't see it at that time. But you got to sit down and really like pay attention to it. So there's
Absolutely. And so, Kiana, being that you're going to be the one that's going to help shape the mental health of the community on April 18th from 1 to 5 p.m., what is it that you see that the community needs to be able to heal together on purpose? Give us one thing that you can say as a community when it comes to our mindset, that this is how I can help with that. Uh-oh, seemed like we lost her.
Yeah, I think she got. I heard it beep off.
Okay, no
She'll
worries.
come back.
Okay, no worries. Until she come back, and for those that's in the back, I'm gonna bring you up on the stage as well. We're gonna wait to see if she's gonna come back. However, you heard from Kiana. She's gonna be in the room. She's gonna be the mindset shifter. She's gonna be the one that's gonna come on and help us to be able to heal on purpose as a community. Because you can't start anything if the mind ain't right, the body won't be right. Okay, the mind makes the body sick or well. So we definitely want to focus in as it relates to mental wellness in our community. And I do believe that Sister Kiana will add value to that process. Okay. And so the next person that I see here on the screen, and I do see, okay, the next person that I see on the screen, I'm gonna go in familiarity. Miko, I see you here. I'm so super excited that you are going to be here. Now, I grew up with you. I grew up with you, Sister Miko, and my daughter is your cousin's goddaughter. Okay, and I mean I just have a long, long journey with
Yeah,
you. And the reason why you came to mind and in my spirit, and when I was praying and asking God, like, show me the different people. Like, I don't want to choose the people to be the ones to serve the people. I just want to be your vessel. So I know that he used me as a vessel to handpick every person to be in this room and to feed God's people. And so when you came to mind, my beautiful sister, in your work in the medical field, your work with the women, because you help to bring in new life, right?
Yes, ma'am.
To bring in the next generation. And I know just for me as a woman, as a mother, having my own children, right? And going through that birthing process, a lot of our children come through traumatic wounds,
Yes.
right? A lot of women that when they, when they get pregnant, they don't know all that comes with that, right? And then going into a medical facility, not only having to deal with their own pregnancy and bringing in new life, right? And having these old stories, but we're living in a dispensation of time where I personally feel, and I know you're the expert on this, but I'm just going by my own personal experience. My own personal experience is we need a new approach to give birth to new realities. We need a
Yes.
new approach. We need something where women can listen to their bodies, and prepare to give birth to these babies, and they're not coming through traumatic wounds. And watch this, everybody that's listening, a traumatic experience. Okay, some of you might have noise in your background, but if you can mute your phone, that would help us out greatly. Okay, so I believe that we need a new experience, and this particular health fair and expo is just going to raise our awareness of what can be done. So, would you please tell us who you are, how you show up in the world? What do you do in the world to help with this aspect of the work today, and why do you feel like people should be in the room with us April 18th in Charles Park?
So my name is Tamiko. I am a native of St. Petersburg, conceived, born and raised Jordan Park. I am a labor and delivery nurse for the last 20 years, straight out of St. Pete College, 2006 class, and then 2008 with my bachelor's. My passion came when I discovered my mom was having my now 44, soon to be 44-year-old sister. Didn't know where babies came from. I just know one day she had a flat belly. Next thing you know, it was big. Then the baby came home. So I was infatuated with pregnancy. So I thought I wanted 10 kids. Long story short, I end up finding out about midwives. And that was my ultimate goal, to go to midwifery school and be a midwife. But once I realized there was some blockages where I couldn't deliver in the hospital because I needed an RN degree, I tried to work all around going to that college. But I ended up going to St. Pete College, getting my RN degree. Um, and then once I end up getting into our local hospital here, I wasn't fit for the team. I wasn't white enough. I didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. And that's the same issue down there right now today. So I ended up moving to New York, getting a job in labor and delivery at Harlem Hospital. And that laid me a strong 4-year foundation. I worked with Black doctors from the US, from Africa, from the Caribbean, nurses that were midwives in their country but couldn't be midwives here. So it was a foundation that led that's why I walk with my head held high, my shoulders squared back, not in arrogance, but in confidence, because that foundation, and my preceptor was Puerto Rican, and we still in contact today. But I realized all the trauma that I went through as a child, losing my mom at she was 34, I was 12 years old, and going through my life stuff, right, Tamika? So
Understood.
I realized I had to heal on purpose. I realized I had to stop drinking. I realized I had to stop smoking. I realized I had to get my fat tail in the gym and work out, because how can I be a voice of the community and I'm not walking the walk, but I'm doing all this talking? So I sat back and I really had to do my homework and heal on purpose. And I'm still healing. A part of me is healed, but I'm still healing. But when I look into that labor room, when I go to work, I try my best to leave everything that I have going on in my personal life in the car. When I get in that labor room and I see my sisters, I see young ladies that could be my daughter, because I'll be 51 this year. I see family dynamics and it is all screwed up. And it hurts
Mm.
me because it's only so much that I can do. So when I advocate for the mother, when I advocate for the sister that look like me, when I advocate for the um, the person that don't look like me, I'm getting in trouble. So I really want to bring to the community the real deal in that labor room. Having a baby is supposed to be glorious. Yes, it does. But when it goes down wrong, it goes down. And I have two lives in my hand. Right now, I know you guys been hearing about the hospital forced the C-section and all. We really need to know the truth. Yes, we need our own facilities. But how are we going to have our own facilities if no one's going to school to be nurses and doctors?
That's right. Yeah.
So delivering at home, that's all fine and dandy until you run into a wall and you need me and a doctor to get that baby out of you in emergency. So we still need to go into that hospital. But I want to give you tools to save your life. My goal is to keep you out of Smith Funeral Home before it's time, you and your baby. And
Hmm.
we got to have some kind of come into the mind about how we're going to birth these babies, whether we're going to get the epidural, whether we're going to get a C-section, whether we're going let's go in there with some working knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff that's going on in TikTok, and it's you're going to end up hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Now, as a nurse, and I'm gonna be short, as a nurse, we have to have CPR, ACLS, all these life-saving measures. I've been a nurse for 20 years, and I've only did CPR once on one patient. One, because labor and delivery, you're not expecting the mother to pass away. And we lost her. We coded that lady for 2.5 hours. So it's not pretty. Cracked ribs. Hush, my dog in the background barking. I guess he's agreeing. But I really want us to, like you say, heal on purpose, birth on purpose, birth our babies on purpose, with purpose. Safety. Safety is always first. But that's my goal. But a lot of us is coming into that labor room already behind the eight ball,
Yeah.
already behind the eight ball. And the system was not built for the Black woman. So I'm trying to
Yep.
understand if we're 3 to 4 times more likely to die having our babies, if it was white women, what would be all the outcomes? What would be places stuff in place to prevent this? And 80% of these maternal deaths are preventable according to the CDC.
Mm,
Mm.
80%. And they try to tell us that racism still don't exist. It's got to be this because we're living in America, right? And we have all the technology. Oh my gosh. Technology's coming in, but the Black women here in America die more than the women in the Caribbean. That includes Jamaica, the Black women, Jamaica, Haiti, and Africa. Our death rates are way higher than a third world country. So
mm,
what is it?
Mm.
mm.
It's our providers. It's our nurses that don't look like us. And then the nurses that look like us are too afraid to speak up because I still can't get a job. I've been blackballed. Yep. So I hope I'm able to bring some eye opening. So when you go down there to that beautiful new center, you'll know how to come out alive and hold people accountable.
Wow.
I hope that answered your question.
No, it did answer
Yeah,
my
it's pretty
question,
deep.
and it really gave me in particular something to think about. You right? You said birth on purpose, and I really know that that's necessary. Like all of my girls had babies, all of them, gave birth, and I had to go in that labor and delivery room with them, and I could tell you from each child that I birthed in the world through my lineage, I was afraid because I know what the woman got to go through. She got to go through death's door to bring
Yes.
that baby to life. Like that's the real deal, Holyfield, right? And if it wasn't for my sister who is on the line, I don't know the medical terms. I don't know what the doctor's going on. You understand? And there has been some really touch and go times. But if I didn't have my sister, I didn't know. I don't know how I would have made it through as a support person. So even the support people got to know what's going on. And
Yes.
last but not least, and this is what I call birth on purpose. This is what I'm taking from you. The birthing
Mhm.
on purpose. Like when I gave birth to my first daughter, and my daughter is on the line, Now, when I gave birth to my first child, I was sent to the hospital by myself. You understand?
Mhm.
Like my mom didn't go with me. So I was left in the hands of the people that was there. And it was a traumatic experience for me.
Mm.
So what I'm saying is that this is necessary. What you bring to the table, education is the key to salvation for us to
Yes.
be educated, to be aware, to know what's going on, what we need to do, how do we prevent ourselves, if whatever situation we're in, white, black, it doesn't matter. But in particular for the black woman, we got to be educated, right?
Yes.
And knowing, don't just make emotional decisions,
Right.
based on, emotion. If we could do it natural, do it natural. But like you said, if you get in an emergency situation, what to do, how to do it, where your resources. So I'm very grateful that you came on board. And I know that God chose you. I didn't choose you. God chose
Thank
you.
you.
Your voice matters in
Hmm.
this. So we got the mindset by Kiana. We got how to get birth. Y'all see how this coming all into play? Can y'all see it?
Because,
So we got you, we're gonna give birth to some new babies. We ain't coming through no traumatic wombs.
yeah.
Each generation gonna get better and better, and it starts with us. So
I
thank you.
tell my patients it's only two ways to have a baby: vaginally or vaginal bypass. There's no other way. And sometimes those babies can get in, but some mom's pelvis is not accommodated, it's not appropriate size for that baby to come out. So we need the hospitals, but we need to go in there with working knowledge of if this happens, this is going to happen. The ultimate goal is a safe delivery. You go home in 2 to 3 days and come back in 24 months with the next one. But it is definitely some information that needs to be placed in the Black community, because we are going in there and we are dying having our babies unnecessarily.
Absolutely. Thank you
Hmm.
so very much, Miko.
You're
So, for those
welcome.
of you that's listening, as you can see, yes, this is for our community, but every community can benefit from this knowledge. Every community can know that, okay, there's a work, you got to have a working knowledge when you have a baby. Every community got to know that you got to be able to give birth on purpose, especially with our young girls that's getting pregnant, having babies, and don't know what to do. They show up at the hospital and they don't know A from B to C to D. So in the Nation of Islam, we are taught this, that a nation can rise no higher than its woman. The community can't rise no higher than the woman is taught and trained. So it is our duty and our responsibility to be able to enlighten each other, each one teach one. And I'm being taught right here tonight on this podcast. So if you're listening, go ahead and drop us a comment. Let us know how this is resonating with you and share the broadcast. Now, Miko, you said a lot. So being that you said a lot, I think it's time to take a breath. Okay. I think it's time to take a breath. And so tonight we have Zahira. She's on here. She's our breath work and therapist, but she's also a nurse. So Sister Zahira, and I'm gonna bring you. If you could take your mute off, take your microphone off mute. I'm gonna bring you here because I truly believe after we've heard all of that, it is time to take a breath. Please tell us who you are, how you show up in the community, what are you going to bring to this, so that we can be able to, take a breath in the midst of everything that we are going to heal on purpose with.
I'd like to say thank you for having me here, and the two previous ladies that have spoken. I appreciate everything you're saying, because I had that same question about what's happening with Black women delivery. I mean, we're the strongest on the planet. I mean, what are you? I couldn't figure it out. And it's not just with poor Black people, it's with celebrities. Celebrities are experiencing this. But like you said, most of them are Black Americans. So I'm glad we're figuring it out, and I'm so glad to hear everything you had to say. My name is Zahira. I'm a holistic health practitioner. My business is Holistics for Life. And the reason I say for life, life is what drives us, but we live a life, and all of it needs to be encompassed in that. You don't party when you're young and marry when you're middle aged and, check out and think that you don't have to continue to take care of your health. In order to make it in the long run, we have to do it in a holistic way, a conscious way. I'm also a reflexology practitioner. So, what is reflexology? Reflexology is based on a science that states that there are reflex points in the palm of your hand and on the bottom of your feet that mirror organs, glands, limbs, and parts of the body. And by applying pressure to those reflex points with the thumb and or the pointer finger, we can literally manipulate the state or the status of any reflex point. So when I say that the reflexes are a mirror, I'm meaning like when we look in a mirror, we see what's in the mirror, which is that. And if you're going to the heart reflex, you're literally having access to your heart. If we go to the breast, chest reflex, you're literally able to manipulate what you're feeling in your breast or in your chest. So I have really enjoyed doing that practice. And I do a wellness session that is hands on, and it's like a 45 minutes to an hour session, but it's particularly on the hands and feet. I also practice yoga, and I teach and coach on the limbs of yoga. And so, what is yoga? In the West, it is described as a 5,000-year-old Indian mind body practice designed to unite the union of the body and the mind and the spirit through physical postures, which are called asanas. There are breathing techniques, which is pranayama, and there's meditation, which is deep concentration. Rooted in sacred word yuj, it is meant to join or unite. It acts as a philosophy, a science, and exercise for strength, flexibility, stress relief, and mental clarity. I teach on limbs of yoga, and the reason they are limbs of yoga, there are 8 limbs of yoga. That was 4 of them. So the West is mainly looking at just the first 4, or those 4, but there are 8 total, and they are ancient framework from Patanjali's Yoga Sutras outlining a holistic, ethical lifestyle. They are listed as follows. You have yama, which is about ethics. You have niyama, which is about observances. You have asana, which I finished speaking about, which is postures. You have pranayama, which is breath control. You have pratyahara, which is sensory withdrawal from the things that we are sensing with our senses. We have to withdraw from that in order to take it down and then come back up. There is dharana, which is concentration. You have dhyana, which is meditation. And the last one, the 8th one, is samadhi, which is enlightenment slash oneness. So in explaining those, it lets people know that yoga is not just postures, that it's a full program where we can really get into how we manage our life. The key takeaway from going in and really practicing the 8 limbs of yoga rather than just the 4 limbs of yoga is that it's not a linear progress. The limbs are not meant to be mastered one by one instead, they act like branches of a tree that coexist and strengthens one another. Beyond the poses, only one of the 8 limbs is directly related to the physical poses. So out of 8 in the West, we're particularly focusing on that one, the poses, but showing that yoga is a comprehensive mental and ethical system by looking at all 8 of them. The goal and the purpose of the 8 limbs is to guide practitioners toward ethical living and mental clarity and spiritual enlightenment. I also teach a passionate series of classes titled Let's Go Back to the Beginning, and it explores all that we are, all that we were, and all that we will be forever, and that is divine. Once we reclaim our divinity, the rest is history. The foundation of today's world is our metabolic health. Without that, we don't have any ground to stand on. So until we take a look at our health situation, I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but it means nothing because you're not capable of making use of it and enjoying it. Metabolic health is, it means that your body can digest, absorb nutrients from the food we eat, and that it has stable level blood sugar levels and blood fat levels and insulin. Fluctuations in these levels are natural, but it's important to avoid big spikes. And we all know about that. You know, our community is mostly burdened with those pressures in our blood. And that's something that we really have to take a look at because every time we spike, we age. To avoid, it's important to avoid these, which can contribute unfavorably to a long-term health condition. There are 5 pillars for metabolic health. And if we can implement these 5 pillars, then we have an opportunity to come out of all of these health conditions. The 5th pillar, the 5 pillars are healthy eating is number 1. And we all know that it's nutrition. If we don't have good nutrition, then we don't have good health. Because what do we expect for our body to rejuvenate with if we're not eating nutritional food and supplements? Daily movement, we have to move. Being sedentary, if we're not working our body, then we're not strengthening our body. We have to exercise and move and be active rather than less active. Also, stress management is very important, and that's where meditation comes in at. With stress management, with meditation, it can be made simple. You know, when people hear about meditation, the first thing they think is, no, I can't sit down. I can't be still that long. And it's not really very long. It takes 20 minutes to count as a meditation, just like 20 minutes of exercise. If you haven't exercised or moved your body for 20 minutes, then you really haven't exercised for that day. You can't count it because it's less than 20 minutes. Well, that's the same thing with meditation, that if you are not doing it for at least 20 minutes, which you'll be surprised how fast the time passes once you learn to settle down and allow it. And then you'd be amazed when you open your eyes and things look crystal clear, clearer than they were when you closed your eyes. Next, we have the healthy connections, meaning that we can't isolate. And that's what the pandemic was really bad on us. And not just us, the whole world, because this wasn't just a thing that happened here or a thing that happened there. It was the whole world. And when we didn't have those connections, that made us suffer. And we acquired a lot of residual effects from that year, you know, and it hasn't gone away because once again, it was residual. So it's still ongoing. So we have to encourage our elder, parents to our seniors to get out or to do groups. And that's why Silver Sneakers and the centers that have group meetings and games and cards, it's really important that they get out and do that. And it's not just them either. Our children are starting to not socialize as much as, especially not as much as we did. We were outside in the sun. But today, our children are inside, and we're all inside way, way too much. And
Absolutely.
it would be...
Absolutely. You're correct.
So, and the last one is smart supplementation. There's no way to get everything that you need in your food because once you cook it, we're depleting it. And the ground and the earth is not as strong as it used to be years ago, hundreds of years ago. It's just not giving us, the food is not absorbing the nutrients that we need. So we do need supplementation. And that's something that we would have to look at. So we're looking at foundational health, and it starts with these 5 things. And we just have to take a really good look at it. And all of this that I'm speaking of, I use in the program that I'm doing with let's go back to the beginning. And in that program, it's really interesting how I came up with it. But overall, I use all of this because when we go back to the beginning, we're really having to change our mindset, because it's how we think. As a man thinketh, so he is. It's how we think that presents what's presented to us in our health, in our life, in our relationships, in everything that happens, because it's about how we're thinking and how we're acting. So it's about mindset. And when you go back to the beginning, what was in the beginning was the creator. And he didn't make any junk and he didn't leave anything out. And in creating us, we got a part of him. That's why I say we are divine. There is divinity in humans, but it can get overshadowed and covered up, and you don't even realize how powerful you really are. But we can seek it out and bring it out. But it takes all of what was built into creation in order for us to even get it to scratch the surface. And one is just getting out in the daylight, in the sun. Early morning light is the best time to be outside. And if you're not listening to music or something else, you'll start having very creative thoughts and carrying things out, and your body will heal. Being out in the sun early morning, it gets really dangerous later in the day. UV rays are very dangerous later in the day because it turns into radiation. But early morning is great. So that's what this program is about. Me being able to present things to people that they can do that won't cost them a penny. It'll only cost you your time and your will and your willingness to go through the things that I'm referring to. Last but not least, I'd like to say that I am a wellness advocate with doTERRA Essential Oils. doTERRA is the largest oil company in the world, and the oils are pure, certified pure, and they are tested grade. The grade is tested. They're tested grade. So they are very safe, they are effective, and they are affordable. People think that right away, okay, we can't buy oils out of Walmart in a box for $50. I mean, for $5. That's just not going to work. You pay for what you get and you get what you pay for. And even going to the health food stores, all of those oils are adulterated, meaning that they don't have pure oils in them. They're either buffered with something else or they're used, synthetics are in them. So I'm a big fan of doTERRA. I've been with them for 8 years, and I've studied the oils, and their oils are the best. And I do share them with people, and when people use them, they realize that they're really the best because, once again, they're safe, no side effects. Everything else that we're taking as a shortcut has a side effect. Sometimes we just don't read the side effect, but the essential oils have no side effect. They are effective. You don't have to wait 2 weeks and for it to get into your system before you know that it works. It works within minutes and continues to work. You never have to increase the dose. You never have to do anything different. So, and affordable, that's a myth because they really are affordable. Even if you only buy the basic ones, they're still very affordable.
Beautiful.
So,
we're gonna hear a lot more about that, Sister Zahira. I absolutely adore what you have. You have a lot that you have to offer, right? And our community needs that, especially when I heard you talk about the reflexology, right? How to eat, the proper eating, the nutrients, the supplements, smart supplements is absolutely necessary, and your aromatherapy. I use aromatherapy all the time. So when I seen that you did that and you have my favorite brand of oils, I know that especially as women, we can always benefit from those things. So I want to thank you because we tapping back into divinity, Sister Zahira, and that's what you're going to bring to the community. I know that the community is ready and excited to hear from you. We do have other presenters that wasn't able to get on tonight. So all of this, as you can see, it all complements one another, not just for the city of St. Petersburg and the Tampa Bay area, but throughout America. There's something that can be done about it. We can use natural ways to approach our communities and heal on purpose. That's what this is all about. One thing I do know about the woman, when she feels good and she look good, everybody is happy. Would you agree? Right?
Yes.
We believe that we believe, look, especially when it comes to that skin, baby. You want your skin looking good. I am into age reversal right now. I'm 52 years old. I'm 52. And I'm ready to go back to the age 16. So I've been all into this age reversal. I've been studying what's good for the skin. Right now, I have no makeup on. I'm so proud to say that because I remember the time I used to have to cake it on, baby. I had to cake it on because I had that hyper pigmentation. My next guest gonna tell y'all about that. I had the hyperpigmentation after I had my baby, my fourth child. And I used to be what they call a red bone, but baby, I had red skin and black all around and black all around there, but I started getting skincare regimens and, getting my IV shots and all of these things. But one of the most exciting thing is my sister connected me with my next guest, Tash, but now I've learned that she's actually my cousin, right? And so what I know is that it's so important for Black women to take care of their skin, right? And all that she has to offer. But to see a Black woman bringing this to our community, it really excites me more. And if y'all notice, I say excited a lot because there's a quote, 99% of what's wrong with people, Kiana, is they don't have enough excitement, right? So I'm always boosting up my excitement. So you will hear me say I'm excited because I believe excitement is contagious. And I'm very excited to bring on Tash Green. She's here with Holistic Jewels, right? She's here with Holistic Jewels, and she's gonna help us stay looking good because Black don't crack, but you got to take care of the Black, okay? Don't let me get started. Black don't crack, but you better take care of that Black. So let me bring forth my next guest. I'm so super excited to have you here, Tash. Please tell us who you are, how you show up
I'm
in the
sorry,
world.
Tamika. Black do crack. Is the black don't crack unless you own crack.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna let you have that right
If you own crack, well, let me mute.
I'm gonna let you have that. I'm not gonna argue with that, okay? I'm not gonna argue with that. However, we're gonna let the expert in her lane, because this is her lane, okay? We're gonna let her come up here and tell us about Holistic Jewels. Sister Taz, please come forward, girl, because I need you in my life. For real, for real.
Well, thank you. I want to be able to help. My name is Tash Green, born and raised in St. Petersburg, Florida, around the Childs Park area. So I feel right at home on April 18th. So Holistic Jewels was designed. Host is the person, and the juice aspect is the defibrillator that gives you back the energy in your body. So as a single parent, as a teenage parent, and all those things that come, born and raised in the hood, um as I looked at my mother and other women that has all these responsibilities. Like, we go to work every day, we send our kids off to school, we have husbands, we have boys, knuckleheads, we have girls, sassy, we have a lot of energy that we dish out every day. So we get tired too, right? And my company wasn't just designed for women, but I am a woman. So when I designed it, I said, okay, all of this is going on and we get tired too, like, no, like for myself, nobody wants to come save me. They feel like, oh, Tash can solve her own problems. Tash got it. Tash never gets tired. And I tell you all the time, I'm going to call you. And I be like so busy. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock. I'm not calling anyone, because now I have learned that Tash get tired too. Tash needs somebody to help her too. So when I designed my company, I designed it to give back the jewels to women. So when you come and when you see me, you're going to take time for yourself. You are going to work, like I do age reversal. focus on the things that, because and for Black people, we think that we don't need it, and we have all these pigmentation areas, hyperpigmentation areas, dark circles, puffy, baggy eyes, um, muscle drooping, elasticity of the skin. Like, we have all these things that we don't even see until you come and get a skin consultation.
Sister Taz, you breaking up, sis. Uh okay, I'm sure she's gonna come back. But y'all heard her. As we waiting on her to come back, come on, Kiana. Y'all heard her, that droopy skin, baby. Because I remember when I had that turkey neck. I'm working on it, getting rid of that. I'm waiting on her to come back. Okay, I haven't done all what she got, but I've been working on it because I know that there's some things I needed to do, and with the hyperpigmentation, all of these different things. So she's gonna come back and she's gonna continue to share with us how she shows up, what she's gonna bring to the April 18th health fair and community health fair and expo. Y'all, it's going to be off the chain. If you're in the city of St. Petersburg, this is going to be a day that you really want to be in the room. And so as I go to the next person, we'll double back and come back to her. The next person that's on here is my sister Crystal Green, who is also a licensed practitioner nurse. Like, each one of these women are on here. They got some letters behind their name. Okay, so we bring in the best of the best to our community. So Crystal, with strategic healthcare, if you want to come on until we get Tash back, if you want to come on and tell the people who you are, how you show up in the world, and how does gut health play a part in really helping us to heal on purpose, especially, girl, about these parasites, because, yes, baby. Okay, so you want to take your phone off of mute. And for those that's listening, again, around the world, you can benefit from what we have to offer tonight.
I apologize. I have been having some technical difficulties, but when I tell y'all, I am so super excited, and you might hear me use the same verbiage as my sister, because I do pick up a lot of her traits. But I am super excited about April 18th and what I have to bring to the table and to share and educate. Education is the key. Education is the key, and just bouncing off of everyone that have got on and went before me, I was able to kind of take a little bit of everything that you all said and put it into perspective of what I'm truly speaking on. So my name is Crystal Green, born and raised in St. Petersburg, Florida. I am the owner of Strategic Healthcare. I am a nurse practitioner, been in nursing for over 20 years. And I absolutely love what I do, but I love it more now on a different level. So just to speak a little bit on gut health, and I'm not going to go too far into it because I have so much that I want to express and say. And I know it's my passion to talk about it, but I could kind of go overboard. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. And for anyone that is listening, I want you to understand the first thing I'm going to tell you that I want you to take away from this conversation tonight is that you talk to God through your gut. I'm going to say it again. You talk to God through your gut. And what do I mean by that? I'm just going to go ahead and break it down just a little bit. When I say you talk to God through your gut, everything that happens in your body stems from your stomach. And a lot of people don't know that and don't understand that. But the whole theory of I had a gut feeling, that's a true statement. When your insides is telling you, hey, don't do this, you have to listen to yourself. Because if you think about the way the gut, sorry, y'all lost me, I'm sorry. If you think about the way the gut operates, there's a certain thing that is called gut. Well, my son keep calling me, and I don't know what else to say to him. But there's a certain thing that is called gut to brain axis. And what that means is that the way you think, mental health, comes starting from the gut. Your skin, what you put in your body and eat, starts from the gut. When you doing
Okay, it seems like we lost her. All
Must be
right.
an emergency if you keep calling like that. Answer
So
that phone, mama.
let me just say this. One thing that I do know, and we lost Sister Tash. One thing that I do know is that anytime you're doing something great, distractions will appear. But it's not about what shows up, it's how you respond to what shows up. What am I asking the community tonight? I believe that everybody that's listening and everybody that will listen to this, you get the gist of the greatness that we're going to put in the room on Saturday, April 18th from 1 to 5 in the community of Childs Park. We're bringing brilliance to you. We're bringing experience to you. We're bringing holistic health to you. We're bringing skincare to you. We're talking about giving birth to a new reality. We're bringing in new mindsets. We're bringing in somebody who can help you de-stress, okay? Because you know we be stressed out, and it's not just all women. We do have, like I said, other speakers that's going to be here. We have Sister Andrea Green from the Honey Wallet. I love her. I love her company, right? Um, she's going to be talking about health. And then we have someone that's going to be talking about how to biohack your body. You know, what is it about copper peptides? When I learned about that, I was like, oh my gosh, my community needs to know that. So the things that we're going to bring to this community is going to actually help to approach healing from a different perspective, right? And I can truly say this 100% hands down, it's never been done like this before. Why would I say that, Sister Kiana? Because all of us has never done it together before. Does that make sense? So this is going to be a first of the first because we've never done it together before. So I can tell my community 100% actual facts. You've never seen this before because you've never seen all of us work together before. So we're going to bring something very new and innovative for our community. All we ask, how can you help this process? Put somebody in the room, and my vendor is going to be off the chain. The vendors are going to be super, super amazing. So not only are you going to get to hear from Black excellence and in brown excellence, you know, people that have taken their time to learn their craft and to serve our community, but you are going to get an experience. It's not just going to be a bunch of people talking. That is a part, but you're going to get hands-on experience. We've asked each one of our presenters, they're going to have tables, and we have vendors where we actually want you to come in, see, feel, touch, and get the experience. Now, before I hope we get the other two people back, if not, before I close out this thing, I do have Bernica Muhammad, who is my daughter. I'm so proud of her. She's my daughter, and she started up her own mom village, right? She's the moderator of the event for that weekend, for that Saturday. She's the moderator. And Bernica, if you are able to come on, please tell the people who you are, how you show up in the room, and why you believe that our community throughout the Tampa Bay area should be in the room. Childs Park, YMCA, April 18th from 1 to 5. Are you able to come on?
I am able to come on. Peace and blessings, everybody. Good afternoon. Or good evening. So for me, I am Bernica Muhammad. I'm a mom coach. I specialize with mothers, but I help all women to pour back into themselves. I help women to rediscover themselves beyond their titles. I help women to dig deep within and see beyond the surface of themselves. I also help women to prioritize themselves through self-care. I feel like this health fair, what we're doing is so important. What mothers especially, we are the first of everything. And every woman, you're a mother of civilization, whether you have a biological child or not. But we are the first everything. We're the first teachers, nurse, doctors, lawyers. We're the first everything. So we are the glue to the family. We're the backbone, and through us come all life, and through us is the future. So I think it's very important because who we are, that's the legacy that we build, whether it's good or it's bad. So I think that it's very important to have what we're doing in our community because a lot of people don't know. people don't know where to start. People want more, but they don't. Mental health is so important. A lot of people are burnt out. A lot of people just want to give up and throw in the towel. But I feel like we are the ones who will show that there is light in this world, is light at the end of the tunnel, and we will have an answer and a solution. Most times people just focus on a problem and not the solution. So I'm happy to be a moderator, to be able to present all of you wonderful women to the world and everything that you have to offer. And it's just helped me to push forward more in what I do and be able to bring my community in this space. So that's what I have to share. Thank you all.
All right, and that's Brenika, my daughter, the mom coach. And so, so I say that to say this as we get ready to wrap this up. The burning question is this all for women? Absolutely not. Okay. We need the men in the room as well. Okay. We need the men because you all are the head of the households. You're the head of the families. And if you don't take care of yourselves, then there's no absolute way that you can take care of us. Right. So we want you to lean into your health as well. Be in the room. Tell somebody else to be in the room as the organizer, as a person that, I believe in holistic health, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. It all works together in what they say in synchronicity. Okay. Right. It all works for the good of the Lord. And so we're going to pour into you at the health fair. Why? Some people ask me the question, well, what does it mean to have a health fair and expo? Well, the health fair is where you're going to get the presenters. They're going to talk to you, as you heard from beautiful Sister Kiana. She's going to come in. She's going to shape and shift your mind that day. Okay. She's going to help us to understand the necessity for a community to heal on purpose, starting with our mental health. Okay. Mindset. So many people need mentors and coaches. We need someone to help us to change our minds. Then you have Miko, who is going to come in as a registered RN. She's going to help us to shape new realities, to prepare to give birth to new realities. Okay. So we're not coming through traumatic wounds. Then we have Sister Tash, who's going to help us to get back into that black don't crack. Okay. We're stressed out and we're going to be able to take care of ourselves on a physical level and also internally de-stressing. Then Sister Zahira, she has so much to offer. And one of the things that I know she's going to focus is on that aromatherapy. Sometimes you got to sit back and not just smell the roses, Sister Kiana. We got to smell them aromatherapy, them oils, right? And how to use the oils to really heal the body. Then, as you heard from Crystal is going to talk about gut health. She said something very powerful and empowering. You talk to God through your stomach, right? You talk to God, right, through your gut. Well, we know the gut and the mind, it all goes together. Some people say the gut is the second brain. I truly believe it's the first brain. But, if you have a dirty gut, then what is our intuition like? So we got to clean it out, right? We have parasites in our gut, but do we have parasitic people in our life? So it all works together. Does that make sense? Then we have Sister Andrea, who's going to come in and she's going to talk about women's health from a different aspect. Sister Miko, she's going to be able to help us to take care of ourselves before and after. And then we have Yvonne McGrew, who's going to bring something to our community that's very new. It's something that I'm into with these patches. Okay, we're going to talk about these patches and what the patches are doing to help us to heal holistically. So again, we have speakers. We have over 30 vendors that's going to bring different aspects to our community. And I'm saying to you all tonight, in this area and beyond, there's something that can be done about the health, care, and the wellness of the family unit, targeting in on the Black family. Okay. All people can benefit, but the Black family, we got to have some new approaches. We got to have something that's going to elevate us. We got to have something not only make us think right, but do right and be right, because we're going to eliminate and eradicate by every conversation high blood pressure in the family. We're going to eliminate and eradicate by every conversation diabetes. Right? I remember when my grandmother went out to the bushes and they made teas. Right? So what I'm saying is, and there's so much stress, it's real out here. We don't have to be the strong black woman and black man. We got to know how to take a breath and sit down and take back and rest and relax, restore, right? But sometimes we need those reminders. We need people to show us, not tell us what to do, but show us how to do it. And that's what we're going to do April 18th. So we're excited. That's all that I basically had to say tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you that was able to show up for our community tonight. And again, I ask you to tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a family member to be in the room. And I'll just leave you all with closing remarks. Is there anything that you would like to share in a 1-minute closing remarks that you want the people to know?
I'm just excited for the 18th. I'm just really excited. This is definitely well overdue, but ain't no time like this time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miko. Anyone else? Okay, we can't hear you, Kiana. I see you took your phone off mute, but we can't hear you. Okay, Sister Zahira, is Kiana, if you can say something. Yep. Okay, nope, it didn't come through, but we got you. Sister Zahira, did you want to say anything?
Yes, once again, I want to say thank you for everything that you do and bringing this together. It's all about the core and bringing us together, and you're very good at it. And I want the people to know that they really want to take a minute and come out, bring the children. We're going to be outdoors, and you will walk away with a wealth of information, something that you can start right then, that same day, and you can make a note of the rest.
Absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you all in the back room because I just want to some closing remarks for you all. We're going to go ahead and just close this out. And again, if you're listening all across the world, just because we're doing it in our city, but you can actually duplicate this somewhere in your community. You have somewhat of a blueprint of what we've done, how we brought the people together, and how they're going to present to our community, but your community need this as well. So get together, get a group of people and say, hey, what can we do to put on a health fair and expo in our city so that we can bring something innovative that from the young to the old, we can close the gap on our health and wellness. So again, thank you all. I'm going to pull you in the back and we are going to close out. Okay, let me see. How do I pull you in the back? All right. So anyway, all right. So yeah, so my thing is not letting me pull you in the back, but guess what? We can still close out. For those of you that listen tonight, I want to thank you all so very much. You have listened to another Repair of the Black Family Heal on Purpose podcast. I would say this: it starts with you, but it doesn't end with you. Thank you for listening. God bless. Peace, and we'll see you April 18th from 1 to 5 in the Child's Park community.